do is to look at the pelvis rotation. You are going to lie flat on a hard surface. You're going to try and find your ASIS, which if you move your fingers around on the front of your hip bone, you'll feel there's a sharp peak on the front of your bone. So that's your ASIS. You're going to put your one hand on top of that side and the other one on top of that, and you're going to look up and see if your hands are level. So I can see that my right hand side is higher than my left hand side. So then on my sheet I will circle the R and I'll make an up arrow to show that my right side is higher than my left side. So there I already have one discrepancy. Right, so the second one for the pelvis rotation is we want to see if the one hip is higher than the other one. So you're still going to go find those sharp peaks. So I can feel there's the tip of the peak, and if I go down there's like a border my fingers can get stuck on. So I'm taking my thumbs and I'm riding it up against that border, and then I want to see if my thumbs are level. So in my case my thumbs are level. Right, the next one that we are going to look at is the rotation of the hips. We find that this often is really quite stuck, and especially cyclists, but most people have one hip that is stuck in a medial rotation. So what we're going to do is you're going to lift your legs up like that, pull your toes up towards you, you can relax your head for now, right, and then you're going to turn your legs out as far as you can until it gets stuck. You're going to look up and you want to sort of maybe close your one eye to see how far your toe is from your leg and how far this toe is from this leg. If they're equal, it's not a problem. I've added a photo of my colleague Annie, where one leg is considerably further away than the other. So she's got a discrepancy and she needs lino to correct that rotation. Okay, then we want to check your hamstring length. Obviously in session it's easier because we do it and it's a passive range, but for the home testing purposes we'll do it in an active range. So you're going to lie on your back, legs straight. We are using our paper against the wall to measure. You're going to put your hands under your lower back, fingertips touching. If your shoulder is too tight and you can't get your one hand in, just let your tight hand lie next to your side, which means that you already have a discrepancy. We'll get to that one. But otherwise you can just put your hands behind your lower back like that. I can feel my right shoulder, so I'm just going to lie like this. So I'm going to lift my right leg, and as soon as I feel my lower back starting to push down on my hand, I'm going to stop. I'm going to look up and I'm going to see which line is just below my heel. In my case I'm a 7 on the right. Okay, we're going to do exactly the same thing on the left. There I can see it. And I am on an 8. So my left side's considerably tighter than my right side, and I would need to have that line released to prevent injuries in my life. Okay, so the last one for today is to see what your lateral rotation of your hips are like, and that is just going to be a little bit more tricky. You're going to try and find a surface in your house that is fist height. So the back of a couch, a dining room table, if you're quite tall, a kitchen counter. If you need to stand on a book or two to get yourself to fist height, then make a plan. So you're going to turn around, make sure that your surface is fist height. You're going to get your one leg on the bed. Okay, so I'm going to show you if I stand, you can see that my hip is not over my foot. So I'm hanging on my hip to be able to get my knee comfortably on the bed. So I'm going to look in the mirror and correct it like that to make sure that my hip is over my leg before I measure my knee range. Alright, so I'm going to ask Annie to come around because I'm going to show this again. So if I put my leg on and I relax it and I'm comfortable, I'm hanging on my hip. So I'm going to pull it in, and you can see for me to then relax my leg, my knee is higher. So then I'm going to put my hand pinky to thumb and see if I can measure that range. So for me that will be a 20, because that would be 20 centimeters, which is irrelevant because you want them to be equal. And then if I change sides, okay, going to correct my hip. My knee will be in line with my shoulder. Okay, so it can't be out there. Okay, I'm going to correct my hip and I'm going to measure and I am equal. So I'm going to try and find someone in the studio that is not equal and post a photo. So if you're equal, it's not a problem. But if you've got one that's flat and one that's really high, that is quite a big discrepancy. You'd want to sort that out. Also, if you battle to even get your leg on the surface, you're incredibly tight. We've got clients that get onto the bed and they're like that. No rotation. That needs to be corrected because the joint surfaces go closer to each other and it just causes havoc in function. So if you've got a discrepancy left versus right, get yourself sorted out, give us a call. Thanks guys.